Hello and welcome to Belts of Iron, the demo, the free game you can download from Steam, and it's got hours and hours of play in it. The point of it going to do today is I'm going to set up some oil refineries and just show you how to do that. It's not the most obvious thing to do the first time you go through it, and of course there's no instructions, so you never know if you're doing something right or wrong. So hopefully we can clear that up. Now, we've got a crude oil deposit right there, right in front of us. And we've got a lot of space in front of us. You'll notice I have power running up here. That's because behind me I've got a couple of mines set up. So what do? We have to build a fluid extractor. So if we go into our menu, look at a fluid extractor, which is that one. So 8 wiring kits, 2 times pipe, and that's all you need to make one. I've already built. Let's grab that. We'll pop you there. And I'm just going, you'll see there's an output nozzle there at the front. Now it's at the side. And I'm going to point you in that direction, I think. Now you're going to need some power. So let's get our wires. And well, there's an electric pylon there, which we can just hook straight into. So now we have a fluid extractor. That is producing lots of lovely crude oil. Well, crude oil, I don't think it will come to a surprise to anybody that if you have crude oil, you need a refinery. So let's have a look. Inventory, refinery. Is that a refinery? That's come on, refinery, oil refinery. Now, to make an oil refinery, you need 10 steel and 20 concretes. We don't have that. We can't make any, but I've got 4 of them in my pocket. So we'll just chuck one in. There we go, 7, and we'll put you round that way. Hang on, where's our... And we'll put you there, I think. Now, this is interesting. We have 2 inputs, those are water inputs, and we got a conveyor belt input, which means a refinery can probably make quite a few things. So let's have a look at the recipes. We can make concrete, which you need slag and water. Now, slag comes out of a furnace. We can make plastics. That's just petrol. We can make lubricated gears. That's 2 iron gears and 40 lubricants. That's a lot of lubricant. We can just do crude oil cracking, which will produce petroleum and lubricant. And we can make solid fuel. And solid fuel at this point in the game is the most efficient thing to power generators and anything else that can burn solids. So if you can burn coal or wood, then this stuff is the best. It's double pretty much anything else can do. So let's get this puppy fired up. Again, we're going to need some power to this. So we will, again, take one of our little wiry things. And I think I'm just going to pop you there. So our refinery is now up and running. Ooh, I might have got a bit too close for that. Because we need to get our crude oil in here. Because we are going to crack... We're going to do fuel. So I'm going to set the recipe to fuel. So that requires crude oil. And that also... and that will produce us petroleum and lubricant. So we'll set the recipe. Nothing happening. No inputs. I mean, I could just do a pipe straight from there to there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pipe splitter in here. And I'm going to run a pipe, which I have here. I won't explain all of these components. I mean, that's your job to find that out as you go forward playing the game. And we'll just pop that in there. Okay. Now if we come around here and look at our oil refinery, we're producing. And output is paused. Now this is important. This is where refineries are probably going to trip most players up. If the refinery fills up on either of its outputs, it will just stop working. Kind of makes sense. The refinery has constipation. It can't do any more. So now we have to get rid of what it's producing. So we'll come around the front and what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to build a fluid tank. Again, look it up for yourself when you get to the level that you can make these. And we'll just put a fluid tank there. And we will run a pipe 3 from the bottom into that. And that is taking lube. So I'm going to kill that pipe. I'm going to kill that because that's not what I want, because there's something else I want to demonstrate to you. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We've lost all the lube. We've lost all that lube that we created. But we'll pop you in there. And then we'll do the pipe from the top. Pop you in there. And the purple is petrol. So let's go back to our refinery now. Have a look. That is producing petroleum and also lube. Now, our output is paused again because we are now full up with lube. No puns intended. But again, the whole process is stopped. If you're playing with refineries and the process is stopped before, well, make sure you've got power, but always make sure that your output is keeping up with your production. Otherwise, it ain't going to work. So now I'm going to build another tank here. Now let's have a look round. Yeah. And I'm going to actually put that tank going that way. And I think I'm too close to run the pipe, but let's give it a go. 3. There we go. So that fills up with lube. Interact with storage. We're 2% full. We're 7% full on the fuel. And our refinery is working. There we go. That's lovely. Now, from this refinery, we can do a couple of things. We can build another refinery. It will come over here, and I'll just put a refinery here. Pull it off a little bit that way, I think. And I'm going to take the fuel from here. Yes, I'm going to take fuel from here. Go from you into you. Doesn't matter which hole you put this into, actually. It's weird, that. And I come to this, and I come in here, recipe. And I'm going to make plastics, for which I only need petroleum. So that recipe is set up. Okay, we can see we're full up on the intake, but we're not making anything. Reason being, no power. So again, we'll get one of our little bits of copper string. Where should we connect you to? We'll go up to this power pole here. Okay. And from here, we'll come out and we'll build... no, what I want is just to put this quickly into some storage. I happen to have one, so I'll just get that. Get some storage. Come back a bit. Spin you around just a little bit. And then belt you up. And there we have plastics coming out. So, with a double refinery process, we're turning petrol into plastics. That's fun, isn't it? So, over here, what I can now do is I can build another refinery. We'll pop you there. What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to kill you. So that's got rid of all the lubrication we've built up so far. Now, if you fill up tanks and you've got no use for what you're making, just deleting the tank and rebuilding it will clear some space up for you, and you can get on and carry on doing what you're doing. But you will have to keep deleting and rebuilding the storage tanks. But let's get rid of that. And then I'm going to put another pipe splitter in here. Pop you there. And I'm going to take a pipe. You can go... Actually, you can... no, you can go in there. And I'm going to take you, and you can go up the top one. Reason for that is because here I want to build. Right, I need another storage. Oh, I've made 5. I didn't want to make 5, but I've got 5. It's all right. They're always useful. You always use them. Come on, hurry up. Let's just pop here. Okay. And we're going to belt this up. 2. Belt goes in there. Hopefully that'll sneak under this pipe. I'm in the way. Come on. And we're going to come in here. Right. I have in my inventory 50 gears. No, hang on. Before we do that, come in here. And what we can do, the only thing you can use lube for is to make lubricated gears. So we'll set our recipe to lubricated gears. Now for that you need gears and lube. Well, we got the lube. We've filled that up. We can come here. Now I have some gears on me. I don't want to put all of them in here, but we'll open the storage container and we will now grab a lot of these. How many have I got back? I got 13. I don't like 13. Let's take 15 or 16. That'll do. Come around here. We'll put another storage shed out the front. One storage shed goes in there. Again, with our... go in there. Ah, of course, we haven't powered you up yet. You might as well share power with this one. So... and there's our looped gears coming out. So, okay, that's 2 big chunks of oil refinery done. So at the moment in this point of the game, that's pretty much all you can do with those 2 components. As I say, what will happen is these tanks, these machines will now produce those components until bits and pieces run out. And then, oh, of course, what I can do is I can put another storage tank in here. And when we run out, we will put it in there. So that will eventually just end up as a tank for storing unwanted, unused lube. Next thing we want to do. Now, this is where this whole system gets really interesting. Have I? Yes, I've left myself some room there. That's excellent. I want to keep this a little bit tight in, so I'm going to set up one more oil refinery. I'm going to take you there and spin you round. I don't want to get... no, I'm going to move you forward a little bit because I want some space. Actually, I'm going to bring you there. That should give me space for what I want to do. I'm going to run some oil pipe there. To there. There into there. Now, the recipe we're going to set for this one is solid fuel, for which I need crude oil. That's fine. We've got our crude oil coming in. At the moment, we don't have any power here, so let's get some power going. Can I jump from this one? Might as well. Yep. So is that making solid fuel? That is making solid fuel. Now, solid fuel, as I said, if you have a combustion furnace, which I do. Constructor, fabricator, combustion generator. We'll put one of you there. We can now drop you in here. There, I think. Looks about nice. And we'll take you from there to there. And we get all that solid fuel coming out. But it's not generating power. It won't generate power because obviously we are not connected to a power system. So again, let's get a wire. And now we're generating power. And look how slowly our solid fuel is burning. We're generating it at nearly 4 times the speed that it can burn it. So this combustion generator will not run out of power. And we are supplying, 205 kilowatt. No, 65 kilowatts. Right, I'm just going to exit the game and save and quit. Okay, we're back in the game again. The reason I did that is I got rid of the damn weather. Because I have to admit, the weather in this game drives you nuts. So what are we doing? We just set a combustion thing up. We've got power going that way. What we could actually do at this point is if I delete this power cable, everything is still working up here. Now we are completely removed from our base, which is down there if you've watched any of my previous videos. But we're now self-contained. This combustion thingy, let's get that off there. And we come in and have a look. So we're producing 78% of the power that we need. And we're chewing through. We are actually chewing through our fuel at this point. So maybe a bit too early to do that. So maybe I'll put this line back in because I don't want to run out of power at this point. And we will just pop you back there. We'll just run you over to here. And that's cool. So we're back on the main grid again, but I was just showing you that we have a self-contained unit here. It's not producing enough power. What do we do about that? Let's have a look here. And we're not burning electricity very fast anymore. I think what we'll do now is go into here. And I'm going to grab steam turbines. Let's set a couple of steam turbines up. Because these are very, very efficient for reducing power. I'm going to pop one in here. And I'm going to pop another one in here. And I'm going to pipe this one to this one. And then I'm going to pipe this one to this one. Nothing happening. So let's grab some electricity. Well, I'm going to wire you to you. And then you will come to you. Nothing working. Not hugely surprising, is it? Actually, that's not great. And you'll see why in a minute. So what we need to do now is to make steam. Obviously, we need water. Basic physics. So we'll run on down here. Let's just have a look behind us. And I want to go straight up, so I want to go between the trees. I'll come down here and I will put in a fluid collector. On the fluid collector, let's point that so it's going up the hill. And do we have any more copper wire? Yes. Pop copper wire in there. We shouldn't need too much more of that. And we'll come here. Gonna hook you. to anything. So we're pumping water now. Now I want a pipe. No, I don't. Actually, what I want is I want a distributor. So let's make one of those. I don't really need to split it, but it's just a nice way of having a place to put things. I'm going to put you there. Now I'm going to run a pipe from here. I'm going to put you there. Oh, pipe is too long. Right, so cancel that. Let's put another pipe in. So here. Lift you up a bit. That'll do. We'll come from you. And there. And you can go in there. Now I think you come up here this way. And you can see the water going into the pipe already. And we'll bring this pipe to there. We'll take that pipe in from there. And pop him in there. That's cool. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Now, this took me ages and ages and ages to figure out. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to delete... no, I'm not going to delete that one. No, I'm going to delete this. Okay, so this generator is no longer supplying water to any. It's okay. Now it's not worked, has it? You see, this is why I got so screwed up with this. So now I'm going to take a wire from here. Because these steam turbines, for some reason, do need an electrical input. That should be working. Oh boy. Oh no, because it's taking power from there to there. Right, so I've got to delete this one. Look at that. Now, the problem we've got here is we're not generating enough power for the system. So I actually have to take a wire from here and pop that there. And now this system should be working. I think it's slowly spooling up. Okay, so I'm generating 1,000 kilowatts and the system's using 375. And now what we can do is we can go back here and delete this wire once again. And everything should be working perfectly. And that is how you get your steam turbines working. So this whole system now, from this point forwards, going in that direction, is a completely self-contained generating, refinery process. So we've got our water coming in here, we've got our steam going in there, our turbines are producing electricity, which they're throwing into the grid. which the grid then feeds these refineries. So, yep, that's working. That's working. That's working. And that's not working because it's run out of cogs. Yep, no cogs, so nothing in there. And we should have, in this storage, we should have 40 odd. Well, we've got 17. Okay. So there you go. That is refineries. And another little trick with getting around the most annoying thing in the game, which is weather. And you see our lube place here is filling up, which means our plastic generation here will stop working soon. So, because when this fills up, that's it. So we'll just get rid of you. And we'll get rid of you. And we'll put the fluid storage tank back in again. And we'll just pipe that in again. This one's filling up again. So that's fine. So everything I've said is correct. So there you go. Once again, as I said, refineries. That's how you do them. Not very self-explanatory. Obviously no instructions in the game. No instructions anywhere on the internet. So I hope this video has helped you to get a little bit further on in this game. You can't see a steam train there at all. No, we don't have trains yet. That will be my next video. And they're not particularly easy to get going either. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been useful. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's made you want to play this game a bit more. I'm so looking forward to the full release of this coming out. I don't know when that's going to happen, but the potential of this game is so much fun. Anyway, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see some of my older stuff. Hit the dislike button if you really didn't like this video. But thank you for watching. Goodbye.